I'm probably going to lose my cool today. I'm going to lose my cool today over this tweet or this Instagram post that's making its rounds, especially amongst the PTs and PT students out there. I've been finding it on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm finding all sorts of people sending this thing out and retweeting it and sending it to people. And I'm going to go off on this tweet today because once again, as usual, people seem to be missing the bigger picture behind this whole thing. I don't disagree with the tweet. I don't disagree with the Instagram post itself, but I have a problem with the people that are posting it and the issues that they're not looking at that are contributing to why this tweet happened in the first place. We're going to hit that after the intro. Don't go anywhere. Stop defending mediocrity in our profession. Welcome back, and thanks for joining me on the Dr. Krol PT and Fitness Podcast. I am your host, Dr. Lee Krol, physical therapist. And what we're talking about today that I'm going to get a little bit animated about is this tweet that I'm going to put on the screen in a second here from Tyler Bates, DO. I'm going to read it off here, and I quote, "Physicians, please stop disparaging other medical professions. This isn't a subtweet. This is in response to hearing a physician degrading the training of physical therapists. PTs are highly trained in their field and valuable for patient care. Hashtag MedTwitter, hashtag physical therapy." So, as you could expect, because this paints physical therapists in a positive light, all sorts of PTs and PT students have been jumping up and down on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, like, yay, someone is defending our profession, someone's showing our profession respect, this is great. And they're sending this out there with thumbs up and hashtag this and everything else. And once again, missing the bigger picture as to why this tweet happened in the first place. So let's break it down. He says, Tyler Bates says, in response to hearing a physician degrading the training of physical therapists. So what this is really talking about is PTs should not be seeing people direct access. PTs should not be seeing people without a physician referral because they don't have the training, whether it's the didactic training or the experience or the scope of practice, to catch major issues that are not neuromusculoskeletal or within the scope of a PT's practice. That's complete garbage. We absolutely have the training. Overall, I agree with what Tyler Bates said. I have no problem with what he said in this tweet. It's the bigger picture that led to this tweet coming out that I have a problem with, and it's the issues of the PTs and the PT students that are retweeting this and what they're not doing within our profession to help this problem go away. Simply put, retweeting this post that I put up here a second ago, retweeting this is not going to solve any problems. Retweeting this is not going to make physicians change their mind. Just because another physician said it doesn't mean anything. What really matters is we have to hold our own profession accountable. So we have the training to do direct access. I mean, in fact, PTs are being integrated into primary care units all around the country with great results, less radiology visits, less pharmaceutical visits, less unnecessary PT consults. You know, we're doing a really good job inside these primary care units, and really good PTs out there are working in direct access all over the country, doing a great job at seeing people less often in these high volume clinics, seeing people that, you know, would have been surgical candidates and helping them out before they ever get surgery. So PTs, have the didactic education to do all this. We may not pick up that it's ovarian cancer, but we're going to pick up that, okay, this person is not fit for PT, they're not fit within our scope of practice, they need to go see a physician. You know, we may not pick up, hey, you have this exact fracture, but we'll pick up that you probably have a fracture, you should go get some radiology, and you should go see an orthopedic. And we'll pick these things up even if we don't hit the target directly, but that's not what we're intending to do. That's not what our education is intending us to do. So, hearing a physician degrading the training of physical therapists. And again, people started posting this and their thumbs up, clapping their hands and acting all giddy that a physician defended our practice. And I don't have a problem with people retweeting this, but if you're going to retweet this, whether you're another PT, a PTA, or a student of any type, PT or PTA student, you need to do me a favor. If you're going to retweet this, if you're going to post this on your Instagram stories, what you need to do, your very next tweet, your very next Instagram story needs to be shitting all over a PT practice that is not doing their job. You need to shit all over a PT practice that is seeing 3, 4, 5 patients an hour. You need to be shitting all over PT practices that have productivity quotas. You need to be shitting all over PT practices that have productivity meetings where they tell their physical therapist, well, you're going to lose your PTA if you're not more productive. You need to be shitting all over PT practices that have a mill type of environment where they just come in, they get their hot pack, they get their manual, they go to the PTA and get their exercises, and then they go get a cold pack. They ride the bike somewhere in the middle or the new step. If you're not going after those PT programs out there, if you're not going after those clinics just as much as you celebrate this tweet, then you are unfortunately part of the issue. We cannot accept the fact that we lower the quality of our care. You can go right back to the very first podcast I ever did on this channel. Stop devaluing the PT profession, or the problems with devaluing the PT profession. If you're not going after the clinics that are doing this, and we all know who they are. We all know who they are. I don't call them out by name on this channel on purpose. There's a very specific reason that I don't call these clinics out by name. But we all know who they are. We all know what's going on. We all know the mills out there. We all know the high volume clinics. We all know the ones that put quantity over quality. They all put volume first, quality maybe third, after everything else. We all know who they are. We've all worked there. Some of us still do work there. There's fantastic physical therapists that just choose to work in shitty environments, and they don't want to change anything. They don't want to change a profession from within, but then they want to retweet this stuff out and give a big thumbs up to the physician who defended us and threw us a breadcrumb. When we should be building our own bread, we should be building our own practices to do things the right way, so that there's no physician out there that's going to be sending out a disparaging remark about our profession in the first place. I don't have a problem with what Tyler Bates said. Tyler Bates is not the issue here. Not at all. But we don't need Tyler Bates to defend our profession. If Tyler Bates needs to defend our profession, then what's happening is we're not doing a good enough job taking care of our profession. So again, to the other PTs out there, to the students, to the PTAs, to the PTA students out there that are retweeting this, you need to go after everybody else that's doing the same thing and lowering the quality of our care and allowing physicians out there to have a leg to stand on to say that we don't have the training. When we practice at this level, it doesn't matter that we were trained up here, we're practicing down here. You all need to do something about it. I'm on this channel every single week, bashing and shitting all over PTs that don't do the right job. I'm here every single week getting it done, trying to do this. I don't care how many people I have, if it's one person or 50 that watches me or 5,000, I don't care. I'm here doing this, calling out other PTs for what they're doing and not valuing our profession the right way. We had the doctoral level education, we get those degrees up there, we get those licenses, and in most states we have direct access privilege for a very good reason. We've earned it, we have the ability to practice up here. When we practice down here and we don't call it out, we're part of the problem. So I'm trying to call this out, and I know a lot of other PTs that are doing the same thing. But stop defending mediocrity in our profession. I said that way back in the beginning. I'm going to say it again, and I'm going to keep saying it until we get it right. We shouldn't need Tyler Bates or any other physician to defend what we do. We need to go after the people who aren't doing the right things. We need to be going after them harder then we're celebrating this type of a tweet that came out. Tyler Bates' tweet is fantastic. I'm glad he put it out there. There's nothing wrong with it. But to all the people that are resending it, you need to step up and shit all over these other PT clinics that are not doing their job. So again, the big picture here. What's the big picture? Why did that physician go after PTs and say that they're not qualified? They don't have the training. Not having the training is an ignorant statement, because we have the training to pick up on all these issues, all these integumentary issues, these internal issues. We may not, again, we're not going to pick up on exactly what it is. We're not going to pinpoint it, but we don't need to. We're just going to get the patient to the right person. If a patient comes to see me direct access and I know they had a surgical complication, I'm going to send them right back to the surgeon. They're not a PT issue. I can't fix what's going on. The problem is there's something internal that needs to be fixed before I can see them and do any work with them in the first place. We can pick up on those problems. We have the training. So that part of what physicians saying is completely ignorant. However, when we practice historically at this level, when we do 3, 4, 5 patients at a time, cookie cutter exercises, not treating the body as a whole, making jokes online on physical therapy forums and boards, talking about how shitty our profession is and the way we're doing things, and picking on our patients and all that stuff, this is what we're going to get. You know what I don't see? I don't see physicians doing that. I don't see physicians having boards making jokes about their profession and, I got to see 6 patients in 30 minutes today. I just got to juggle my patients and this is handling a workload. They don't make jokes about it, but we do. We make jokes about it. We make jokes about putting people on the new step for 10 minutes while we run around to other things. I know, I've seen it. I've seen it on these PT boards. We lower the value of our profession. And you may say, well, what's the big deal with having a nice little bit of fun and a joke on social media? That one joke doesn't matter. It's the combination of all of these things, all of these little jokes, all of the little things, like we don't call ourselves doctor when we have doctorate level education. We don't demand that others call us doctor when we have doctorate level education. I'm not talking about out in the community. I mean our patients and the people working in the offices. Oh, you're going to go see John today. You're going to go see Sally today. No. You're going to go see Dr. Smith. You're going to go see Dr. Jones. You're going to see Dr. Jackson. This is what you're going to do. That's what you do to elevate our profession in the public eye. It takes a long time, but if we all do what we're supposed to be doing, knock off the jokes online that make our profession look stupid, call ourselves doctor in front of the patients, including our staff calling us doctor in front of the patients, elevates our profession in the public eye. And that public eye includes other health professions as well. Most physicians that I talk to, they know that we have a lot of training. They know what we're capable of. And they treat the ones who practice at this level, they treat them up here. And the ones who practice down here, they know who they are, and they talk about them down here. So my suspicion is this physician who pointed out that PTs don't have the training was probably talking about the people down here who don't practice at a very high level. Cookie cutter exercises, high volume clinics, just, oh, well, I need a job somewhere. So they go work someplace that, forces them to see 4 or 5 patients an hour, have a 1 hour productivity meeting every week or two, saying, you got to see more people. You got to see more people. Make sure you get Mrs. Jones in here twice a week instead of just once. You got to get them in here. That type of stuff is garbage, and it lowers the quality of our care. We all need to step up, and we all need to take time to call out these type of issues. And one of the things that I would really like to see happen at the school level from the schools is we talked a lot about physician-owned PT practices. And my school, I love my school, University of Buffalo. I got a great education there. I love the faculty there. I think they did a great job. But one of the things I would love to see, they really called out physician-owned PT practices all the time, which is fine. They're unethical, and the physician is only concerned about using physical therapy as an arm to make money, not about patient care overwhelmingly. There are exceptions to this. But one of the things that the schools never really called out and they never really got on was these high volume clinics that are, physical therapist owned, but they're physician controlled, meaning that the physicians overwhelmingly these PT owned clinics, they get through physician referral. So 85, 90, 95% of their intake is off physician referral. So they're not physician owned, but they're physician controlled. And you're kind of splitting hairs here. It's not much of a difference. But the schools weren't calling these places out. These schools weren't talking about how high volume clinics are just as damaging, if not more, to our profession than physician owned clinics. And we don't talk about that enough. I've been banging on it on this channel ever since its inception that we shouldn't be treating any more than one patient at a time. I think that's unethical treatment. I think it's bad for our profession. And I think it leads to physicians saying that we don't have the training to do our job. And it leads to people like Tyler Bates having to defend our profession for us when that's completely unnecessary. We should be defending our own profession. We should be attacking our own people who are not doing things the right way. I've been on this since day one. You can go all the way back to episode 1, Stop Devaluing the PT Profession, and I talk about it quite at length. So what I want you guys to do, if you're going to retweet this from Tyler Bates, I have no problem with that. If you're going to put it on your Instagram story, I have no problem with that. But your very next tweet, your very next Instagram story, or the one before it, should be going after PT clinics that see too many patients at the same time. We all know who they are. I don't need to call them out by name. The PTs that hear this and they get upset with what I say, I know I hit the nail on the head because I didn't call them out by name. It's one of the many reasons I don't do that. One of the other reasons I don't do it is because if ABC Physical Therapy changes their ways and I'm 3 podcasts ago shitting all over ABC Physical Therapy, well, then that stays out there forever. I want to just call out the traits. And then if ABC Physical Therapy sends me an email or comments and gets all pissed off, all I know is that I hit ABC Physical Therapy right on the head. I know exactly what I did. I hit them on the head. They got mad and they're like, well, we don't treat like garbage. Our patients come back to see us. It's garbage. You know it's garbage. You know what the problem is. On top of that, there's a little sidebar I'm going to go off onto here just because I'm all animated and worked up. And this is about as animated as I get. I don't get all bouncing off the walls and hitting things. But one of the things I see on social media all the time, and this irritates the shit out of me too, is when I see a high volume clinic, a place I know has those productivity meetings, a place that I know sees 4 patients an hour, a place that I know is banging on their physical therapist to see as many patients at a time as possible. Can you do me a favor? As one professional to let me rephrase that. As one professional to someone who's feigning at being a professional, can you stop posting videos online telling people in the community what to do in terms of, oh, if you have shoulder pain, try this. If you have neck pain, try this. Can you stop that, please? Just do it for our profession, because one of the things I want is, if you're a high volume clinic, stop posting these videos. Let the grown-ups handle it. Let the adults in the room do the talking for the PT profession. The people who are seeing one patient at a time, the people who are treating the body as a whole, the people who are doing physical therapy at this level right up here, let them access the community. Let them tell the community what's going on. Let the community come to them and get a real sense of what real physical therapy is. Because when I see these places that are high volume posting these videos talking about what to do, the lay people who don't know any better, and I don't expect them to, they say, oh, this is a good physical therapist right here. I'm going to go see them. They walk in the door. They get their initial evaluation one-on-one. That's cool. Then after that, it's right into the mill. 4 or 5 patients an hour, cookie cutter garbage, VHI pre-printed sheets handed out, complete crap, garbage. And then that's what the layperson thinks physical therapy is. And again, lowering the value of our care. So if you are a high volume clinic, I don't want to see your ads on Facebook or Instagram or anywhere else telling patients what to do. Let the grown-ups, let the adults in the room handle physical therapy. If you want to be high volume, be high volume. Again, go back to one of my previous podcasts. Just take the words high quality or dedicated to the highest quality physical therapy. Take those right off your website and just talk about volume. Dedicated to serving the needs of Niagara Falls, New York, Rochester, New York, Syracuse, New York. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where you're located. Put that in there instead of dedicated to high quality PT. Let the grown-ups, let the professionals, let the adults handle putting the videos out there. You just worry about high volume and making our profession look like shit. And then let us call you out for it. So if you're not going to be a grown-up, stop reaching out to the community and showing them the worst of PT. If you're not going to treat it at a high level, stop reaching out to the community. That's all I ask. Just let the physicians keep sending you high-volume people and let the grown-ups keep banging on you for it, okay? That's my rant for today. So again, if you posted this Tyler Bates tweet, that's fine, but you need to post something else about how shitty PT is when it's done poorly. That's all I ask you to do. We need to change our profession from the inside, or else we're going to keep getting physicians saying that we're not trained, we're not qualified, and we shouldn't be seeing people direct access. Thanks for listening today. This is the Dr. Krol PT and Fitness Podcast. If you made it this far, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that share. If you liked anything I said today, share it out, screen clip it, do whatever you have to do. I don't care. Get it out there, get this message out there, because it's too important that we start calling our own profession out instead of just sitting idly by and hoping that it changes on our own. We have to take action. We have to be out there banging on the people that are not doing their job, and we all know who they are. I don't need to list them. We all know who the biggest offenders are in our general area. We all know who they are. Start doing things the right way. Get people out there seeing PT for what it really could be and what we can be doing with our profession. Again, I don't hate our profession. I love our profession, which is why I come on here and bang on it all the time, because I know we can do better. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for joining me today on the podcast.